Hello class. So we're continuing with identifying the text structures with a different kind of text. This first one is a journal entry titled Florida Keys by Daryl Otis. So words to know. As you read, look inside, around, and beyond these words to figure out what they mean. Colonies, structure, habitats. July 12th. So far, our summer vacation in Key Largo has been great. We went to Pinnacamp Coral Reef State Park yesterday, took a tour on a glass-bottom boat, and saw some amazing coral reefs. Did you know that the Florida Keys have the only living coral barrier reef in North America? Our guide told us that the reef is made of coral polyps. These tiny sea animals have soft bodies and live in warm, shallow waters. They form large colonies and are connected to one another. When coral polyps die, they leave behind a hard limestone skeleton. Over time, layers of skeletons build up and form a structure called a reef. A coral reef grows slowly upward from the ocean floor, and it may only grow 1 inch every year. All right, so we have a picture here, and it says, check out this close-up photo of a coral polyp. It clearly shows the tentacles, the long feelers they use to catch food. How cool. On top of the reef, there are thousands of living coral polyps. Because coral polyps are animals, they need to eat food. At night, they reach out their tentacles, or long feelers, to catch food that floats by. They also get their food from tiny algae that live inside them. The algae uses the sun's energy to produce food. We have another photograph that was included in the journal entry. I took this photo while scuba diving in a kelp forest off the coast of California. The bass at the upper left looks pretty cozy. This is his natural habitat, after all. Many types of animals live in the coral reefs in Key Largo. They swim and hide among 40 kinds of soft and hard corals. I saw colorful tropical fish, spiny lobsters, and sea urchins. Shrimps and crabs also live on the coral reefs. Last year, our family took a trip to California. There, I had a chance to look at kelp forests up close. Both kelp forests and coral reefs are underwater habitats. Kelp is long, brown algae that lives in cool, shallow waters. Similar to coral polyps, kelp needs sunlight and a hard surface in order to grow. Kelp has 3 parts: the holdfast, the stipe, and the blade. The holdfast is the part that attaches to the ocean floor. The stipe connects the holdfast to the blade, and the blade is the leafy part that takes in sunlight and converts it to food. Kelp forests form when kelp grows closely in crowded groups, like coral reefs. Kelp forests provide homes for many kinds of sea life, including fish, jellyfish, sea urchins, and otters. These animals can hide in the long, swaying kelp. Kelp can grow 2 feet a day. At Monterey Bay Aquarium, I saw kelp that grew 28 feet high, but some giant kelp reaches a height of 200 feet. I like going to places where I can learn while having fun. All right, our next article is an editorial, okay? And this title is Keep Coral Reefs Healthy by Mary Wilford. So words to know as you read. Look inside, around, and beyond these words to figure out what they mean. Benefit, fragile, substances. Coral reefs are extremely important, known as the rainforest of the sea. They provide homes to millions of different plants and animals. Coral reefs support roughly 25% of all the ocean's creatures. Furthermore, they benefit the economy by encouraging tourism and the fishing industry. Also, they provide ingredients to make new medicines. We must try to protect our fragile coral reefs. Coral reefs are made of small animals called polyps. Coral polyps are sensitive. They often react to changes in their environment. For example, one change that causes harm to coral reefs is a rise in the water temperature. Usually, coral live in water that is 70 degrees Fahrenheit to 85 degrees Fahrenheit. If the temperature rises by only 1 or 2 degrees, coral polyps become stressed. As a result, they will expel or push out the tiny plants called algae that live inside their bodies. However, coral polyps need these algae to survive. The algae provide oxygen and food. Without algae, coral polyps cannot get enough food. Therefore, they may starve and die. If algae are expelled, coral polyps change color. They turn chalky white because their brilliant colors come from the algae in their tissues. This process is known as coral bleaching. Bleached coral reefs can sometimes recover. However, a large number of coral polyps may die as a result of bleaching. One of the worst examples of coral bleaching happened in 1998. About 16% of the coral reefs around the world were damaged or died. Another threat to coral reefs is pollution. Acid rains, oil spills, and chemical fertilizers cause water pollution. These substances poison coral polyps and other animals that live in coral reefs. Coral polyps can only grow in very clear, clean water with plenty of sunlight. The algae that live in the coral polyps use sunlight to make food. But water pollution makes the water cloudy. There is less sunlight, so algae cannot make food for their coral polyps. We can help preserve and protect our precious coral reefs. First, we need to reduce air and water pollution. One way to do this is walk or ride a bike instead of using a car. Another way is to stop littering and dumping harmful chemicals into the ocean. You don't have to live near the ocean to help the coral reefs. Let's start today. All right, class. I've read through the 2 articles. I highlighted the key words to help you understand which words we look for to determine if we were comparing, like in the first article, or if we were learning cause and effect, like in the second. Let me know if you have questions.